Michael Cuddyer leads off the home fourth against Matt Garza. Cuddyer struck out on 3 pitches his first time up, and the first pitch curved from Garza in for a strike. Cuddyer, Murphy, and Campbell for the Mets in the fourth. Only run of this game driven in by the pitcher, Jacob deGrom. Those are the kinds of numbers the Mets were hoping for. Career highs for Cuddyer. He was a batting champion 2 years ago, and an injury shortened year last year for Colorado. Hit .332. Line the other way, and Michael's got a base hit. So for the second straight inning, the Mets get a leadoff hit.
Well, you know, you got a struggling hitter, and Cuddyer is in a slump. Got a base hit his last at bat last night, right at the same spot. And when you're out in front, you just got to work it the other way. And that's what he's trying to do. He's been through this before, and those are good signs that he's possibly coming out.
So the Mets have their 5th hit against Garza, and now Daniel Murphy, who flied out to left his first time up. Brewers came in here last night and beat the Mets 7-0. Since 2003, the Milwaukee Brewers at either Shea Stadium or at Citi Field are 27-14, which always feels shocking to me.
Yeah.
Because when the Brewers first moved to the National League, remember they were an American League team, they moved to the National League in 1998. When they first started in the National League, the Mets owned them. The first 5 years they were a National League team, the Mets were 28-9 against the Brewers. It was against the Brewers that Robin Ventura hit a grand slam in both ends of a doubleheader. First time it had ever been done.
Well, it's 3-0 now. I kind of wanted to draw attention to the defense and where the shortstop Sardinius is playing, and I just when you've got a team struggling offensively and you put a hit and run on and that shortstop has to break, look at that, opens up that whole left side of the infield. And Murph is capable of being a good left-hand hitter. I know it's not in the game anymore, but I tell you what, if I ran a minor league system, I would force the hitters, I would challenge them to work on their hit and running, and I'd say, what, do you want to be a complete player? Then learn to hit and run.
Garza behind 3-1, and Murphy fouls off the fastball.
Well, it's the same defense, though, that he faced in Chicago. Remember, Gary?
Yep.
They try to get that third baseman, who was Chris Bryant for the Chicago Cubs, and they take Ramirez, they move him over away from the line and try to take away that 5.5 hole.
And twice Murphy hit it between the third baseman and the line. Once he hit it right at him. So.
I mean, look at all that real estate.
See if Cuddyer runs here. Murphy does not strike out very often. In fact, toughest man to fan in the National League so far this year. So Cuddyer runs and Murphy fouls it back. Well, this is a big night for the St. Lucie Mets tonight. Dylan G, Vic Black, Bobby Parnell all pitching for the St. Lucie Mets. And G's outing is over. His first rehab start. 4 innings. 1 run, 6 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts, 54 pitches.
They're all down there. The guys down there can't even grow beards, and they got the beards down there, the old beards.
Well, Noah Syndergaard goes tomorrow. He took G's spot in the rotation, so it'll be interesting. After tomorrow, G will be eligible to take that next turn in the rotation, whether he'll need more time or whether Syndergaard's going to stick around. Cuddyer was running on the first 3-2 pitch, not going this time, and Murphy slashes one foul, trying to pick off that left field line that Ramirez was not guarding. Well, that's a partial list of the Mets that are out. Don't even have David Wright on that list.
It's amazing, huh? Eight guys, and there's Moss.
That's 10 right there. 5 and 5.
Well, I can't even count.
I mean, it's 6 relievers alone. Forget about the rest of the team. This time Cuddyer runs. The pitch is down for ball 4, and so Cuddyer is safe at second base. So Murphy takes the 3-2 changeup and draws the second walk from Garza tonight.
Nice at bat from Daniel. And we'll see what Terry Collins opts to do with Campbell. Campbell come back. Boomed a double down the left field line. Wind up scoring the only run of the ball game.
I think you got to let him swing the bat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with the pitcher hitting 8th. Despite it being deGrom, who's got a base hit already.
So 2 aboard, nobody out. Campbell a double his first time back from the minor leagues. When Campbell started for the Mets before he got sent down, the Mets were 10-5. First 8 of those were the tail end of that 11-game winning streak. And he nubs one. Garza's only play will be to first, so it has the effect of a sacrifice, if not the scoring. 1-3, moving the runners to second and third.
Boy, it's hard to sacrifice like that, isn't it? Hit it off the end of the bat on purpose.
Full swing. It's the cue ball. A little bit out in front.
So now Kevin Plawecki with a chance to get a run home or 2.
Infield halfway, a bit surprising.
You got the pitcher on deck. They've already been burned by deGrom, so they're not going to walk Plawecki intentionally.
Halfway in the middle, infielders in at the corners. I would not play that infield that tight in, that much in that middle infield.
It's a tough call because you're down a run, but by bringing the infield that far in, you're risking the ball that goes by an infielder and brings in 2 runs.
Right.
Starting to rain a little harder here at Citi Field.
You've got a squad that's been hitting the ball, hitting home runs. I would not want to give up 2 here.
Plawecki grounds one to short. Runner coming home. The throw. Maldonado can't make the tag, and Cuddyer is safe. Well, Cuddyer running on contact, and Sardinas' throw a little bit off the mark, and Cuddyer able to slide home safely.
You're Plawecki, you take Cuddyer out to dinner. Beautiful break right here, and 2 loose from the youngster Sardinas, and clearly safe. And Cuddyer is not a speed burner. It's all about the jump at third base. It's a contact play. You're going on the ball on the ground. That was going to be close one way or the other. It would have taken a pretty doggone good throw to get him.
Maldonado was almost able to reach back for him, but Cuddyer was across the plate.
Good break right there on his toes. Cuddyer knows how to play this game.
So it's a fielder's choice all the way, and an RBI for Plawecki. Murphy held at second on the play. So now the same situation as the Mets had in the second inning. First and second, 1 out. deGrom had a base hit to drive in a run his first time up. And again, the Brewers look for the bunt, but they don't move the shortstop over in the hole this time. That's where deGrom hit it, right where Sardinas is now.
Although they're giving deGrom a chance to bunt it this time. Not as aggressive.
And he's ready to swing, and he takes the curveball for a strike. deGrom's RBI was his first of the year. 5 now for the Mets pitching staff, which is second in the National League behind the Braves, who have 6. And deGrom lines a base hit. Murphy to third. He'll be held up there against the strong arm of Parra, who gets it on 1 hop to the plate. So deGrom is 2 for 2, and the Mets have the bases loaded.
Well, hits it right where it's pitched.
Well, it's feeling very much like 2014 tonight for Jacob deGrom on the mound and at the plate.
Striking out people, getting his hits on the bases. Complete athlete, 48.
Well, you don't challenge Parra. He's got such a good arm.
Wisely done by Tough.
Third 2-hit game of deGrom's career. So now a chance for Wilmer Flores with the bases loaded. Wilmer grounded into a double play on a bullet to third base his first time up. And he lays off, and it's off the plate for ball one. A run is in. Mets with a 2-0 lead and a chance for much more here with the rain falling at Citi Field. Murphy at third, Plawecki at second, deGrom at first, and one out. Everybody back except for the first baseman Lynn. And a slider for a strike, 1-1. Flores with 5 home runs, leading the Mets. He's the only major league shortstop who leads his team in home runs. It's one to deep left center field. Back in the gap goes Parra. Near the wall. It's out of here. Wilmer Flores with a grand slam. Second career grand slam for Flores, the Mets' first grand slam of the season, and the Mets have a 6-0 lead.
Middle in, Bell tied down. He's deadly, very quick inside. I'm happy to see that. This ball is ripped.
Well, Flores was put in the number 9 hole to provide RBI opportunities for the guys at the top of the order. He took them all for himself.
If he was hitting home runs and driving in runs, you wouldn't talk about his defense. That's what we heard today. Well, there's an answer in the number 9 spot.
His 6th home run. It leads the ball club, 15 RBIs. Mets' first grand slam since June of last year when Taylor Teagarden hit one, also against the Brewers. Hit toward the hole. Sardinius with a diving stop gets to his feet, but no chance to get Granderson, who has his 2nd infield hit of the night. Well, wherever they play Sardinius, Granderson manages to hit the ball the other way against him. Hit one up the middle the first time that he dove for, and this time one back to his right.
Ripped. That's smart hitting. What a play, though.
This kid's something.
Well, he's had a very active first game as a Brewer. He's already had a hit. He's had a not so great throw home. He's made a couple of diving stops. And right in the middle of everything. That's with a 5-run inning. Still going with 1 out. Juan Lagares, the 8th man up. 0 for 2, grounded into a double play his last time. Now the Flores grand slam means $2,000 for an NYC community partner, courtesy of Citi. Lagares punches one into right field for a base hit. Granderson turns second. He's going to go on to third. So the Mets with a huge uprising here in the 4th. 5 runs home, 1st and 3rd, and 1 out.
They are teeing off on Garza, and no one up in the bullpen.
Well, this is the enigma I was talking about. Matt Garza can shut you down and then all of a sudden lose it. And you got to go 1st or 3rd. You know why? Ryan Braun plays almost on the warning track. No chance to throw you out of 3rd base.
Rick Kranitz, the Milwaukee pitching coach, out at the mound doing rather sternly a stern talking to Matt Garza. That was not a conversation. That was a monologue.
It was one way. Yeah, exactly.
You know, the Mets needed an outburst like this after so many quiet days. Chance to build on a 5-run inning with Duda at the plate. Still only 1 out. Duda, the 9th man up in the inning. Michael Cuddyer, who started this whole thing with an opposite field single, is now on deck. Granderson at 3rd, Lagares at 1st. Mets now with 9 hits on the night. And Duda takes outside ball 1. The only caveat, It's not an official game, and it's raining.
That's more than a caveat.
Brandon Kinsler, first man up in the Milwaukee bullpen. Well, Tigers had the same fear earlier today. Miguel Cabrera hit his 400th career home run in the first inning of their game with the Cardinals. Then they had a rain delay, but they did end up finishing that game. So congratulations to Cabrera, second player in 2 days to hit his 400th home run. Beltre yesterday. And now Garza really struggling, falling behind due to 3-0.
Well, as manager Craig Counsell is just hoping that he can get out of this inning because he is the third hitter.
Well, that's why they have double switches.
Yep. Well, you'd like him to finish here. And it's just all falling apart here on Garza. You can't right the ship.
Let him swing 3-0, Keith.
Why not?
And it's low ball 4, and that'll reload him. Well, the Mets have already hit 1 grand slam in this inning. And now Michael Cuddyer comes to bat with the bases full. Remember the game in Chicago where the Mets hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning? Cliff Floyd and Carlos Beltran. The biggest inning in Mets history that was, an 11-run inning. It's not quite Chandler Park, but it's not bad. Park, of course, the only player to hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning. I should say Fernando Tatis against Chandler Park. Anyway, here's Cuddyer, 10th man up in the inning, and he fouls one back. Cuddyer singled to right, scored a run in the 4th, struck out back in the 1st.
Well, he started this mess with a single to right field. It's a beautiful Met mess.
I don't know why you call it a mess. This is not the biggest inning the Mets have had this year. They had a 7-run inning against the Marlins back in April. Daniel Murphy on deck. And Cuddyer drills one down the line. That's a fair ball going to the corner. Granderson is in. Lagares scores. Duda will be held at third. Michael Cuddyer with his second hit of the inning, a 2-run double, and the Mets have 7 runs home in the 4th inning and an 8-0 lead. Talk about the tonic that cures all ills.
Well, when you hit rock bottom, maybe last night's game was rock bottom. The only way you can go is up. And this is a wonderful inning for the Metsies, and that's going to be it for Garza.
10 men have come to bat for the Mets in the 4th inning. Only 1 has been retired. The Mets have scored 7 times, and they're in a position to score more. Garza takes his exit after 3 1/3. Mets with an 8-0 lead. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon. We'll be right back to Citi Field. Now Brandon Kinsler will try and pick up the pieces from Milwaukee.
Well, his contract was selected from AAA, where he was pitching good ball, but he was a big part of that bullpen last year when he appeared in 64 games. So far, a bit of a slog for him.
His 6th year with Milwaukee. He comes in to face Daniel Murphy, the 11th man up in the inning, as Matt Garza can only stew about what has been. Infield is back, so they'll concede a run this time on a ground ball, with it already having been blown open. And Murphy takes ball 1. Murph drew a walk earlier in this inning and scored a run. It all started with a Michael Cuddyer hit. Murphy walked, and then with 1 out, the play at the plate where Sardinius tried to throw out Cuddyer, got a great break off third. He was safe, and then the doors fell off for Matt Garza. deGrom followed with a hit to load the bases. Flores hit a grand slam. Granderson and Lagares with base hits. Duda with a walk. Cuddyer a 2-run double. So all ended up to a 7-run inning with still only 1 out. And 2 in scoring position for Murphy to try to pick up, with Eric Campbell on deck. And Kinsler misses outside. Brandon Kinsler from Las Vegas, Nevada, 30 years old. Originally drafted by the Padres in the 40th round. Get drafted in the 40th round, get 6 years in the big leagues.
Pretty nice. His best pitch, he likes to sink the fastball. Power sinker.
And Murphy slashes it foul. 2-2. Well, the People's United Bank starters comparison not quite fair tonight. deGrom's been on his game. Garza most certainly was not.
A rout.
deGrom's not only pitched well, he's had 2 hits, driven in a run, scored a run. A full night for last year's National League Rookie of the Year. 2-2 from Kinsler. And Murphy lines one into center field, and that'll bring in 2 more runs. Duda and Cuddyer score. Murphy into second with a 2-run double. The Mets have a 9-run inning, and they lead at 10-0.
Well, I'll tell you what. You had the doctor come calling on a house call. This could be the most perfect prescription to get rid of your ailments right here. The Mets just needed this so desperately from an offensive point of view and a team standpoint.
And a milestone for Murphy, his 200th career double. Now Eric Campbell, who's made the only out in this inning, and Kinsler comes inside. Campbell hit a number off the end of the bat that Garza fielded and got an out as runners advanced. It was a productive out, albeit the only out of the inning.
Boy, those are all Garza's runs, all 10 of them.
Book now closed on him. 10 runs, 10 hits, and 3 in the 3rd inning.
Set him up, Joe.
That will decimate your ERA. He goes from 4.04 to 5.72. That'll haunt you for a month. Now Kinsler behind on Campbell 2-0. He had a double earlier in the game. And there's a strike. Well, it was July 16th, 2006 that the Mets had their biggest inning ever at Wrigley Field. And Cliff Floyd and Carlos Beltran both hit grand slams. An 11-run inning against the Cubs. Line the other way, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Murphy around third, and he will score the 10th run of the inning. Eric Campbell with his 2nd hit of the night. 11-0 New York.
Well, the Brewers came into this series here. High fastball right down the pipe going the other way. Soft tossed it out there for a ribeye steak. But coming into the series, the Brewers team ERA was next to last in the National League. And this is going to be a big add-on.
Well, Kinsler's coming and throwing gasoline on the fire, giving up hits to his first 2 batters. Still only 1 out. Plawecki, the 13th man to bat in the inning. And he lays off and held the swing in time, 1-0. Well, I believe, and we're having our statistician check, I think this is the 4th time in Mets history they've had double digits in an inning. They had a 10-run inning against the Reds in 1979. They had a 10-run inning against the Braves, memorable because they were down 8-1 in the 8th. That's when Piazza hit the home run down the left field line to cap that 10-run inning. Then they had that 11-run inning in Chicago in 06, and I believe those are the only double-digit innings the Mets have ever had. This would be their 4th.
That's incredible. That is amazing.
It's never been known as a big offensive franchise, you know.
Well,
your exploits notwithstanding. 1-1 to Plawecki with deGrom on deck. There's the slider from Kinsler, and it's 1-2. Plawecki has walked and then drove in a run, safe on the fielder's choice when Cuddyer scored the first run of this inning. 9 more have followed. 1-2 from Kinsler, and he strikes him out for the second out of the inning. And now deGrom, who already has a couple of hits in this game, will get another crack at it. You guys have been rendered speechless.
You don't usually see an inning like this, and I was just thinking of deGrom. You've got Harvey in the pool. I've got Jonathan Nice. You want to jump on deGrom?
Well, hey, I was just laying out. I just thought it was a golden opportunity to lay out.
14th batter of the inning, Jacob deGrom, and he lines one over short, off the glove of Sardinius, and deGrom has his second hit of the inning and his third hit of the night. Wow.
Hitman. Little League day, Ronnie, as you would say.
Yeah.
Same pitch. He likes that ball down and away.
deGrom's trying to pull a Steve Avery here. 3 hits already in the game. We're in the 4th.
Last time a Met pitcher had 3 hits in a game, it was Chris Young.
Yes.
Against the Phillies. I think that was his debut as a Met
in
back
Philadelphia.
In 2011. So now here's Flores, who had a grand slam earlier in this inning. It's the last time a guy had 7 RBIs in an inning.
I was going to say, this would get him on his way for the cycle of home runs on the evening.
It wouldn't be quite a Fernando Tatis inning, but it would be the closest thing.
Nice block. Those are things you look for when you're a manager or a scout. It's a blowout game. You're a last place team. You're 13, 14 games out of first place, and you got a catcher down there that's got a long way to go in this game that makes a nice block on a play.
And Maldonado, a guy who normally is a backup, playing his 22nd game in their last 24. 1-1 to Flores. Bounce foul. Flores hit the ball hard twice tonight. First time up with a couple of men on. He had a bullet one hopper to Ramirez for a double play. And then he had his second career grand slam into the party deck in left center. Flores' 6th home run of the year and the Mets' first grand slam in 11 months. Campbell at second, deGrom at first with 2 out. And Flores pokes one the other way, slicing foul.
Think about it. It had to be a boost to his confidence, Wilmer Flores, when Dilson Herrera got hurt and they had to make a move. And the move was made to keep him in the same spot.
Look at that. 10 runs in the last 5 games. 10 runs in this inning. Funny game, baseball.
They say turn the page, Gare.
Last 5 games haven't been funny. This is funny right now.
This has been an entertaining page. May not be over yet. Flores watches just outside. Kinsler had 1 foot in the dugout, has to come back to the mound. 2-2. Curtis Granderson, who has a hit in this inning, is on deck. Mets have scored 10 runs on 9 hits, 2 walks, and a key fielder's choice that got the whole thing started. Kinsler trying to mop up what Garza spilled. 2-2. And that's in the dirt. And a full count to Flores. So now the runners will be on their way. Campbell at second, deGrom at first, set to go. 3-2 coming to Flores, and he grounds one softly. Ramirez has it, and the inning comes to an end. But what an inning. 15 Mets came to bat. 10 of them scored.